it's been pretty good trying out different things. Like,
Yep.
I guess some will stay in my routine, others won't. But it's just good to play around with like the cold showers and the breathing things, and just different bits and pieces. And with these like the coaching sessions we had, it was quite interesting to think about all the stuff that you talked about in them, and just clear up stuff that you want to do, or where you are, that sort of thing.
Yeah. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, like normally you just go day by day, and you don't really, like with the goal setting, you don't really think about what your goal actually is. You just go day by day and see what happens. And if you got as you said, like if you have a goal, it's more, you're more focused, and I don't know, you're more productive, sort of.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. What did you find helpful about that?
Just it's sort of the same. Like if you have something to aim for, you how do you say that? You still put more effort in it. Like otherwise, you just you do what you need for the day to be good. But if you got something to look forward to, you putting more effort into it to make it happen.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. It's massive, eh? Like it's quite motivating when you've got an actual target, and then you can see like there's a clear path to it. So you're like, okay, if I just do this work, then I'm going to get it. And it's like, it's not always simple and clear cut, but it's like at least you've got something to work towards, and it becomes a lot easier to sort of get up and get motivated for it, which is pretty cool. Yeah, sweet. All right. So what we're going to go over tonight is how to basically set up your day, your morning and your night, so that you sort of make the most of every single day. Okay, cool. So there's 3 parts to this. We're going to go over a morning routine and a night routine. But the first part I want to go over is the most important thing that you got to do every single day. And that's just like make each day count. So every single day, obviously, like as cheesy as it sounds, like life is pretty short, eh? And so if you're living on purpose and making each day matter, then each day is actually going to be worthwhile living. And you're going to be really productive and get a lot done during that time. Does that make sense? I think I've lost you here.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. So like every single day, it's like there's a live time and dead time. And I'm not sure if I talked about this on earlier on in the week, but the difference between a live time and dead time. So dead time is basically just sitting around waiting for things to come to you, just waiting for things to happen. And a live time is actively going after them and actually making them happen. And it really is like up to you how you spend your life. So like, do you want to have more alive time, or do you want to have more dead time, you know? And the more alive time you've got, obviously you're going to live a more fulfilled life. And by the time you do die, you know, you can look back and be like, shit, I really did live, you know, which is a pretty cool thing. And especially in times like this, when it is a little bit hectic and a little bit crazy, it's like we can quite easy just sit around and do bugger all, because we can't do much about it.
Yeah.
But if you set the intention of like, okay, today I'm going to make today matter. I'm going to make, you know, I'm going to make something about this day, you know, important. And then it gives you a bit of motivation. It stops you from lying around in bed, and it gets you moving again, which is pretty cool. Sweet. And then, so that's the number one most important thing for the day. But how we start the day is essentially how our day will continue. So one of the most important things, and I'll bring this up right now, is having a really solid morning routine. So I'll bring this up. So what we got, I will quickly share a copy to your drive. Do you have this one yet? I don't think so, but I'm going to share
sorry.
this with you. It's all
Wrong
right.
button.
Computer's being a bit slower tonight. So I'll share
Yeah.
this over to your drive. I think I'm getting a bit slower tonight. It's been a pretty long week. Cool. I'll do this anyway. I'll do this soon.
Yeah,
so,
do it later. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, cool. So basically, yeah, how you start your day is how your day will continue. So what we want to do is start, build a morning routine is yours to design so that you can basically create positive momentum for your day. So starting the day off a positive, you're going to obviously have positive momentum and you're going to be more likely to do positive things throughout the day. It's also going to help you clear your mind, attract what you want from your day, and set yourself up to respond to the day's challenges, versus reacting and creating more turbulence. And I guess that's why, like, over this week with the Rise week, like, that's why we had the daily routines and the daily rituals, so that you can start to build a few different things into your routine, like the cold shower. Like, no one wants to do it, but it is, like, really good for you, especially, like, mentally and physically as well. So there is a few different parts to our morning routine. Cool. So part one is all about setting up the mind right. Cool. Part two is setting up the body. Part three is starting your success habits. And then part four is starting to build up some powerful momentum using music. Cool. So what we're going to start off with first is setting up your mind. So when we first wake up, our mind can race and get ahead of itself. And if we use a mindfulness practice or a meditation or something basically just to recenter our mind through in the morning, it can be really powerful. Because I know for me, as soon as I wake up, my brain is like, okay, what is the 10 things I got to do today? I'm already thinking way ahead. And if I don't slow myself down in the morning, it just carries on throughout the day. So what I use is I actually use this 3 a.m. meditation. I might actually just bring it up so we can watch it. I'll just play that here. This is pretty cool. So I'll just play this so we can get a little bit of a look at it. So the 3 a.m. meditation, Emily Fletcher, I actually did this for 30 days straight. So meditated twice a day for 30 days straight. It was really, really good. I might actually do it again, set another challenge. Can you hear that?
No, I can't hear anything.
You can't hear anything?
No.
I don't know why it stopped doing that. That's for some reason, yeah, it won't let the screen. Yeah, but anyway, so what the 3 M's are, so there's 3 different mindfulness practices that we can use. One is called dream reflecting. And this is for people who have crazy dreams or like, you got a really active mind at nighttime. And this is basically about the practice of reflecting on last night's dreams. So dreams are our subconscious trying to solve a problem. And sometimes if you just take 5 minutes to reflect on your dreams and go back into them, you actually find like the lessons that your subconscious is trying to teach you. So it could be, for example, like you have a really crazy dream about sharing, but you've been thinking about how you're going to share your 300. So there might be like something in that dream that is actually your mind trying to figure out how to share this 300. And there's actually some really good science. They studied a whole heap of like basketball players. And so what they've done is they put this brain wave measuring device on their head. And when they were like shooting the ball, there'd be this certain pattern that would sort of beep in their head. But when they went to sleep, what they found out is this pattern was repeating like at 10 times the speed that it was repeating when they were actually doing it in real life.
Yeah.
So what you do during the day, you actually practice it at a faster rate during your sleep. And this is why if you don't get a good night's sleep, it's actually going to really affect your learning, your skill development, your recovery, and all of this stuff. And it's really, really important to have a massive sleep so that you can improve all your training and technique and take on new things. And
Yeah.
that's why it's actually a really good thing to reflect on your dreams, and that's one of the first things you can do. And the next one is the 3M meditation. And as I was saying before, like this is one of my favorite ones. What you basically do is you start off with a mindfulness practice, then you're going to do a mantra, and then you're going to do a manifestation. And what you're basically going to do is start off with the mindfulness practice. So what you're actually doing is taking, because when you wake up, sometimes if you've got these scattered thoughts, you're actually outside. So what you got to do is bring yourself back with it, and create some mindfulness, and get a bit of attention back to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so what you're going to do is start off by just really, really focusing on the top of your head, and then you slowly work your way down your body, and just connecting to each part of your body, and just bringing back some mindfulness. And then the mantra, what that part is you're going to select one word um, that represents something that you need in your day. Okay. And for me, it's always the word one. Um, and that's because I need one focus. If I'm unfocused throughout the day, I struggle to get a lot of things finished. So I use the word one, and I just repeat that over and over again for 10 minutes. And every time you go off, so it's like you might go off this task, and then you just start repeating your mantra. So it's like one, one, and then you're like, oh, I need to do this, and then you just go back to one, one, and then eventually you'll get into this mantra and this basically this meditative process. And what you can also do is attach meaning to the mantra. So for the word one, I always attach one focus, one love, one task, one
Mm.
objective, one goal, and that's what it means to me. But I know that just repeating that word one, it's triggering all of those things into my head. So that brings a bit of focus to me. And then once you've sort of collected your focus and you're really present with yourself, what you want to do is your manifestation. So the manifestation is essentially about creating, attracting things that you want in your life to you. So what you want to do is use emotional words rather than outcomes. So what I mean by that is you can use words that also describe your alter ego identity. So instead of being like, I want to attract $1 million, it's like, what traits do you need to attract that $1 million, And it's like, you probably need to work hard. So it's like you'd say hardworking, passionate, driven, and you just sort of repeat those three words over and over. And what you're doing is attracting those traits to you because you need those traits to become the person who gets that outcome, rather than just being like $1 million, $1 million, $1 million. It's like you got to really put into your mind the traits and the attributes that you need to achieve that outcome. And it could be anything. And like, it could be words, like it could be words that are, like present. You need to be present, you need to be courageous, and you need to be passionate. And they could be words that, of a leader. So it's, if you're a leader and you're going to go into a meeting, or you're going to go into teach at school, you want to use words that you want, the attributes that to give that your best outcome at that presentation or meeting. Cool. And so that's the 3M meditation. And the way I normally do it is I'll set my alarm, and then I'll hit the snooze. And I know that gives me 10 to 15 minutes to actually do this meditation before I get up. And that
Yeah.
extra 10 to 15 minutes, it just feels like another hour's sleep. Hey, it's pretty cool. It's really good, especially once, like, it probably takes 2 or 3 days to sort of get used to it. But it's something that once you get a roll on, it's really good. Hey, you just never feel stressed. You never feel overwhelmed. And it's like, it's real weird. Like, even though you've got all these challenges, they're all there, but everything just feels calm, and it's a really good thing to do. And then the next one is just practicing gratitude. So basically, before you open your eyes, just think about 3 things you're really grateful for, and then just spend some time sitting in those thoughts and feelings. So basically, sitting there thinking about, what are you really grateful for? Is it your family? Is it that you've woken up? Is it like, is it that it's a beautiful spring day? It's like, it's like anything that you're really grateful. But starting off with your day with a bit of gratitude, it's just going to flow on, especially for people who might be in a bit of a rut or a bit of a, might be in a bit of a bad mindset state at the moment. Like just starting off by practicing gratitude and starting off with that positive momentum is actually going to be really helpful. So it's another good one to do. And then, so once we've set up the mind, what we want to do is set up the body. Did you have any questions on that one, that first part?
No.
It's all, it sort of makes sense?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. All right, so the next part is we want to get our body right. So our body and our mind, they operate separate, but they also operate together. So we've got to basically have them both at their peak so that throughout the day we can operate at our best. So what we want to do is start off the day with a large glass of water. You can add apple cider vinegar, lemon and lime juice, and pink salt to this water as well. What it's going to do is help to restore electrolyte balance, but also kickstart your digestion, which is really good. And it's just a good way to basically refresh your body, get some good minerals in your body, get a big glass of water so you're hydrated. One of the big reasons why people feel tired in the morning is often because they're dehydrated. So topping up your water and your electrolytes in the morning is a really good idea. Then from there, sometimes starting off with a green smoothie is really good as well, especially during like, but you'll find some that are absolutely amazing, eh? Like
I haven't found one yet. Green smoothies is a no-go.
I love them, eh? I reckon they're beautiful, but it could be just some really refreshing, veggies and some good protein and good food for your breakfast. But yeah, having that is really good. So nourish your body with real food. A coffee isn't really the best start to the day because it's almost fake energy. Like coffee doesn't actually give you energy. It just masks that you're tired. Cool. So having coffee and then it's also going to make you more tired down the road. So it's not actually giving you energy. It's just masking. And that's why it's not often the best way to start the day. So what you want to do is get yourself on the right foot. Start with nutritious food. Fuel your morning. Basically create your ultimate breakfast meal. So starting with fats and proteins can actually give you a good boost of dopamine as well, which is our feel-good hormone. So dopamine's basically our pleasure hormone neurotransmitter, which allows you to tells you to feel happy, basically. So having a good meal of fats and proteins can help boost that in the morning. Dopamine's also your motivation neurotransmitter as well. So it actually helps to get you motivated and get you moving, which is pretty cool. Having a meal high in these macronutrients to start your day will have you bouncing towards your goals. And this is really weird because like most people have a high carbohydrate breakfast for breakfast. But the thing with carbs is they actually help to produce more serotonin. So they help with the serotonin, which actually slows everything down. So you almost need all your carbs at nighttime and all your fats and proteins in the morning, because the fats and proteins are going to get you going, and then the carbs at nighttime are actually going to slow you down and put you to sleep. Cool. So getting your body right and getting your body moving is a massive one as well. And then we get on to our success habits. So these are things that a lot of the most successful people in the world will do every single day as their morning routine. And obviously, if you want to be successful or you want to be at your best, it's a really good idea to follow what other successful people are doing, because success leaves clues. And what these are, they're nothing really special, but what they do is they create positive momentum in the morning. And this doesn't mean it's going to make you super happy and just bounce out the door. But what it does do is it sets up your mind in the right way to be prepared for challenges, and to know that your day started and to know that you're off to a good start no matter what. So one of the ones is making your bed first thing in the morning. So if you go to this one, you'll be able to basically watch that video. But
Yep.
there's a good thing it's this Navy SEAL one. So if you make your bed the first thing in the morning, what it does is it's a task that you don't want to do, but once you've done it, you've done it. And it's also what they're setting you up for is later on the day when you get tasks that you don't want to do, you're more likely to do it because you've already done one at the start. And then if you do have a shit day, you come home and your bed's made, so it's good. Cold showers is the other one. It's pretty much exactly the same as making your bed, but it's also got some really good physiological responses as well. What it does is it basically kickstarts everything. It wakes everything up, kicks everything into gear. But it's also something, like, especially if you're in a cold place, that you don't want to have a cold shower because it's going to be bloody freezing. But when you jump in there and you get that little bit of challenge, and after about a week or so, it's not going to feel as cold as what it was. But you know that you're actually prepared to take on challenges and you can work through it. And it's just setting you up mentally to know that, okay, that was really uncomfortable, but I've done something really uncomfortable at the start of the day and I got through it, and now I can do that with every other part of my life, From there, you want to get some movement in. So you can either do a quick yoga flow just to wake up the body. You could do a 15-minute walk, and then you could also do your training in the morning as well. So getting movement through the body, getting blood moving is super important. Ideally, if you can get outdoors and get some sunshine on the body as well, that's going to be a massive one in the morning because it does impact your circadian rhythms, which are a big part of health. And then another one too is reading. So if you said to yourself in the morning, I'm either going to listen to, 10 to 15 minutes of an audio book, or I'm going to read 10 to 15 pages before I start my day. What you've done with these success habits is you've told yourself you're going to take on challenges and you're going to get through it. You've also got the blood flowing so that your body's ready to move and ready to absorb knowledge. And then once you start reading, you've already taken on and learned something new from the day. So you're already miles ahead of, 99% of people. So it's a really good practice to get into. And it's, once again, it's opening your brain, it's creating creativity, it's creating new thoughts, new ideas, and it allows you to look at the world from a different perspective, which is really good. And then the last thing you want to do, or this is something that as a little bonus tip, I guess, is create like a power playlist. So it's something that you can set up on your Spotify, or you might have some music at home, where you basically make your ultimate playlist to suit your day, and you want to create a playlist for each mood. So you might know that like you've had a really stressful week, and you've got a big day coming ahead, and it's probably going to be stressful. So you could create a power playlist that's really calming. When you listen to it, that you got these feelings, you got these emotions, because the music that you play actually helps to calm you down. Can you look at that power playlist and maybe pick one of those words and sort of let me know a few different songs that you would listen to?
So like what I listen to a lot, like when I want to get stuff done around the house or when I'm motivated and doing things, is actually like songs like The Greatest Showman and that sort of ones. Yeah, so that's like Disney songs. So that's what I'm listening to.
Yeah, cool. But why do you play that sort of music?
I just for like the it's easy to sort of sing along. It's not like you already know the song, so it's not hard listening to new music or anything. And mostly like in The Greatest Showman, the message is really good in the songs and quite inspirational at times. So that sets me up.
Yeah, cool. That's awesome. So yeah, that's basically how we build our morning routine. So what we want to do is have a component from each one. So on this list, you can go out and fill this out later on, but basically we want to choose something from the mind section. So pick one of those mindset routines. Then we want to set up our routines for our body. And then we want to pick a couple of success habits. And then we want to set up our power playlist. And then what you're going to do is basically commit to these morning routines for 21 days and just chop and change what you need to basically suit your morning routine, so that no matter what, you'll be able to have something that's going to start your day on a positive note, and you know that you're always going to create momentum no matter what. And it's a really cool way to do it. The more you sort of stick to it, mine's almost backwards because I start work at 5 a.m. So I don't really want to get up at like 3:30. So what I'll do is I'll get up. I probably should have a pre-work routine, and I'll probably work on that a bit more once we go back. But after work, that's when I sort of that's when I have my morning routine. So what I'll do is I'll have my drinks, I'll have my breakfast, and then I do my training. And then basically I play my music. I get pumped up. I might learn something, but then I'm always ready to go for the rest of the day. But if I don't do that, my day's always really, really sluggish. And it's like, I notice at 100% that, I've got to fill up my own cup first, and I've got to do these morning routines so that I'm more productive throughout the day. Yeah, it's pretty massive. So it's real interesting. Like in the gym, I would say people who come in the morning are probably, it seems they're more, they normally stick to it longer, eh? I've noticed the people, who do the 5:30 a.m. sessions, get everything done before work. They're the ones that always come because nothing comes up during the day and their day is off to a good start already. So in a way, it makes sense. Like there are obviously some really successful people who train at nighttime and stuff like that. But generally, the people that do it before work are the ones that seem to stick to it a bit more often, I've noticed. Cool. Yeah. So with the morning routine, go through this one later on and just fill it out. Do that today. Cool. And I don't know why this isn't working. So you can't hear this at all?
So I'm going to show you what my current.
Oh, now I can hear it, yeah.
Oh, you can hear it?
But I'm 60 minutes out. I want to go to bed 60 minutes.
Yeah.
You can hear it?
I'm going to make myself some tea that is decaffeinated.
It's not the best, but you can hear it.
Douglas Fir Spring Tip by Juniper Ridge. This stuff right here. It is fantastic. I first bought it at the San Francisco Ferry Building Farmers Market, which is on Thursdays and Saturdays. This stuff has become a real favorite. Now into that tea, once I've steeped it and taken out the bag, I will put in apple cider vinegar, 1 or 2 tablespoons, and then I'll also put, this is assuming I'm having trouble sleeping and need to get to sleep, and a tablespoon of unfiltered honey. All right. This is a tip borrowed from my late friend Seth Roberts, an amazing guy, and I'm not 100% sure on the biochemistry behind why this works, but it knocks you out like that. Many of my friends who are chronic insomniacs have credited this with better sleep than even prescription medication. So I'm not a doctor, don't blame it on the internet, so stay on your meds, talk to your doctors, blah, blah, blah. But this combination, the apple cider vinegar plus the honey, which I would just add to this tea, is literally a knockout. It's incredible. Now, at that point, I will turn on my downstairs soaking tub, and we're going to get some footage of that in a second. That takes about 15 minutes to fill, and I'll sit down and I'll read fiction, right? I'm not going to read something like a nonfiction business book that's going to keep my problem-solving apparatus in 6th gear. That's not helpful. I need to turn that off. So I'll read fiction. This is a book that I just finished, which was recommended to me by a billionaire investor named Chris Sacca, who's also a friend and has been on the podcast on the Tim Ferriss Show. And it is called How to Get Filthy Rich in Rising Asia by, I'm guessing, pronounced Mohsin Hamid. This is a fantastic book. I mean, it is just incredible. Prose so pure and purposeful, it passes straight through into the bloodstream. It intoxicates. The New York Times Book Review. A globalized version of The Great Gatsby. His book is nearly that good. NPR. It's fantastic and very hilarious. So I just finished this. Fiction. Then, at that point, I'll set an alarm. Let's say it's 13 minutes in. I will fill up this furnace, effectively, with water and a ton of ice. Now, this Hydro Flask, 40 ounce Hydro Flask, is also something I travel with. Why? This is actually kind of cool because it doubles as a foam roller, but it's not foam. So I will use this to actually roll out my hip flexors and whatnot when I'm on the road, and it saves me the trouble of packing both. So I can just clip this onto my carry-on with the carabiner, and off I go. Now, I have this, which is going to be a core, literally core component of thermoregulation, and then I head downstairs. So that's where we're going next. So here we are downstairs. Got the Houdini, I have all sorts of other artwork. This room used to be just like a dirty futon room with a PlayStation. The previous owners didn't know what to do with it. So I stripped out everything and I built something that I've wanted since I was 15 and lived in Japan and had a nightly ofuro. So this is what it looks like. And try not to completely kill the lighting here, but if you come in, you can see that this has been made into my spa room, effectively, complete with the shelves, the towels, and everything. So this is a soaking tub, and each night I will get in here. I have my ice water. This will sit at this point right here. I have a thermometer if I really want to check water temperature, because I will sometimes alternate this with ice baths in the other room. And then you have steps that give you different depths. So I can go from about here to here to here. All right. Now, there are no jets. This is not a jacuzzi. This is a soaking tub. And to that end, I have a bunch of stuff in here. And these are different types of Epsom salts and medicinal salts that are in dog food rolling containers. So this is Epsom salt, magnesium sulfate that I buy bulk. And I will just take 2 gigantic glasses worth or jars worth of this and put it into the tub. I also have a number of different oils and so on that, depending on my training, I can use. And if we come around the corner here, you can see that we have cozy little sauna. So this is a dry sauna for 2 people. It's a tight fit. You can get someone on the floor also if they're a little overheated. And I will play with this for not only just regular banya schwitzing purposes, but also for increasing endurance. And if you're interested in that, you can look up Rhonda Patrick, R-H-O-N-D-A, Rhonda Patrick, PhD, and sauna and Ferris. There's an entire 10-page post on how to use heat exposure for growth hormone increases and improved endurance. And that is, in effect, my evening routine. So it starts upstairs, ends up down here. I will consume the ice water every 2 or 3 cycles into that bath. I will usually listen to an audiobook of some type or presentations that are motivational in some capacity, and then shower and off to bed. And having already had the cocktail with the apple cider vinegar and the honey, I'm out like a light. I am a lifelong insomniac, and I no longer have insomnia, in part due to having a consistent nightly ritual. Did you like this? If you like this, you're going to love.
Yeah, sweet. So that is our night routine.
He's got quite the Instagram house.
Yeah, he's massive. He's huge. Have you never heard of Tim Ferriss?
No.
Oh, he's huge. Yeah, he's one of the most well-known sort of, I guess, podcaster, and he's got like quite a few good books and stuff like that as well. But it's a great way to look at, like, it's just simplicity, isn't it? What you're basically doing in the morning, you're creating that positive momentum, and then at nighttime, you're basically just creating a slow, calm, basically putting the handbrake on so that you can go to sleep. And with that night routine, what you want to do is have your drink. So it's essentially the same as in the morning. You have your drink, you do your mindfulness practice or whatever you need to. You get some heat. So you get basically, instead of a cold shower, you might have a hot bath. Cool. If you got a sauna, you're lucky enough to have a sauna, you can have that. But then you want to have that cold drink as well, because that's going to start to cool down your body temperature. Once your body starts to cool down, it actually takes that as a trigger for going to sleep, which is massive. And then because of the honey and the carbs, that's going to create a serotonin, and that's going to help to make you sleep as well. and then reading some some fiction. So I used to do this. I actually used to read The Lord of the Rings, um, and that would just knock me out, because it's like you don't think about work. You're just thinking about bloody Gollum running around, and you go to sleep dreaming Lord of the Rings. But it just completely takes you away from where you're at. So it's a really good way to switch your brain off and allow you to essentially start to go to sleep. So yeah, do you have any questions on those so far?
No, it's pretty clear. So good.
Yeah, cool. So basically what I want you to do now is, after this call, just jump on, write out your morning routine. So fill that out completely. Think about what you can do to make your day purposeful. So that's something you can add, to your night routine. I should have put that as adding 3 things that you want to do the next day, that you know that if you can tick those 3 things off the next day, you know you've had a really successful day. Cool. And where people go wrong with this is they're like, oh, I got 15 things I have to do. Well, it's like, if you've got 15 things, put down the top 3 that if you know you get it done, you've done pretty well. And if you get any more than that done, you know you're having a really good day. So, and that's gonna set you up with your positive momentum in the morning. It's gonna give your day purpose, but then it's also going to allow you to unwind and reset, so that the next day you can carry on all of this momentum. Cool. Sweet, mate. Well, I guess that's the end of the week, which is pretty cool. How have you found it?
Sorry, I didn't get the last bit.
How have you found it?
Yeah, I found it really good, but then I also had like nothing else on, so I could really put all my energy into it and try everything out.
Yeah.
I like things I found especially helpful was that like having a different morning routine. Like the one I had before was like just really slow, and yeah, just as you said, drinking that like a bit more water in the morning, that made a huge difference. And the other thing I found really helpful was the nutrition app, just to like every evening I would plan for the next day, just like it might change during the next day, but just a rough plan and see where I am with the with the macros and all that. Yeah.
It's a really good tool, isn't it, MyFitnessPal?
Yeah.
Like, just to know where you're at, then you can be like, okay, well, this is what's going on, and you can just adjust and change if you need to.
Yeah. I think it'd be quite interesting to do that when I'm like during main shear, to see what you're actually eating. Like,
yeah. If you're getting fed by a contractor, you'll probably be pretty shocked. But
yeah, it'll be just
it's funny, like they wonder why their shearers in that break down and don't want to go to work. You know, it's because they're feeding them bloody rubbish most of the time.
Yeah.
There's a really good guy over in WA, Andrew McFarlane. He's Franklin River Services, but he feeds his shearers organic food, Like, and he's got a sauna and a swimming pool at his quarters. Like, he's got a full gym. Yeah, he goes all in, He's got an outstanding business. It's really cool. So yeah, awesome, mate. Well, no, it's been a really cool week. I've really enjoyed this. So thanks for being part of it. You've been the one that's been on every night. So
yeah.
You only missed the one
except
night.
For the one, we had the vets coming. One of the sick, so can be that.
That's cool. I'm gonna basically load all of this up.
I feel a bit bad for being the other attending.
Oh no, it's fine. I'm gonna basically load this all up into a little mini course, so it'll be quite cool. But yeah, sweet. I will. I'll talk to you tomorrow just about your plan for the week, and then But yeah, well done this week so far. Keep up the good work. Are you there?
Sorry, you're real slow.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, keep up the good work, and I'll catch you tomorrow.
All right, thanks.
See ya.
Yeah, thanks.